Ever wonder why some teams work like a well-oiled machine while others constantly hit roadblocks? The secret is creating a frictionless environment where people can perform at their best. Today, I'm going to share with you how to build that kind of team dynamic so you can remove obstacles and unlock the full potential of your team. Keep watching. Your legacy depends on it. As leaders, we all know that friction slows everything down. It can cause delays, confusion, and even conflict. But what if I told you that a frictionless team environment isn't just a dream or a theory, it's something you can actively create? When our team operates without unnecessary friction, things run smoothly. Productivity increases, communication becomes seamless, and everyone feels aligned and energized. But how do you actually remove that unnecessary friction? How do you build an environment where everyone can do their best without getting stuck in a bottleneck? That's what we're diving into today. First, let's get clear on where this unnecessary friction comes from. And there are three major sources: lack of clarity, poor communication, or an inefficient process. With the lack of clarity, when people don't know what's expected of them, it leads to confusion and frustration that builds unnecessary friction. With poor communication, misunderstanding and unclear messaging can derail projects faster than anything else. And with inefficient processes, when the systems you have in place are clunky or slow, it drags everyone down. So identifying which source, if not all of them, is your unnecessary friction is your first step. You can't remove what you can't see. So start by recognizing where and when your team is hitting up against these roadblocks. Now that we know the sources, let's tackle the first: lack of clarity. To remove this friction, make sure every team member knows their role, their responsibility, and the overall team goal. So set very clear expectations. People need to know what success looks like in their role. If your expectations are vague, don't be surprised when results are vague too. Also provide a roadmap. Everyone should know not just what they're doing, but why they're doing it. And that helps them see how it fits into the bigger picture. This matters because clarity builds confidence. And when your team knows exactly what's expected, they'll naturally operate with a lot less friction. The second key is streamlining communication. Poor communication causes confusion, delays, and sometimes even resentment within the team. So we want to fix that. Simplify your messaging when giving instructions or feedback especially. Make it clear and to the point. Overcomplicated messaging leads to more questions than answers. Make sure you've got consistent communication channels, whether your team daily check-ins or you use even project management tools or specific communication apps like Slack. Everyone should know how and where to communicate, and encourage open dialogue. Friction often builds when team members feel unheard. So regularly check in with your team and encourage them to voice any concerns or suggestions. Finally, let's talk about processes. Even if your communication is solid and your team understands their roles, inefficiencies in how things get done can grind progress to a halt. So you ought to be evaluating your workflows. Are there too many steps to get simple things done? Streamline them where you can and leverage the right tool. Repetitive tasks should always be automated. So make sure your team is using software that helps them work more efficiently, not one that complicates things further. Then empower your team to take initiative. When people feel bogged down by overly complex processes, they lose motivation. Give them the autonomy to find better ways of working, and then trust their input when they suggest improvement. Now, creating a frictionless environment is not a one-time fix. It does require ongoing attention. As the leader, you need to regularly assess. Do your check-ins with your team, see where they may be facing new friction points, and you should always be encouraging them to think proactively about what and how things can be done better. Sometimes friction stays low-key until it blows up into a major issue. So staying ahead of it is key. Show that you're willing to take steps removing friction yourself. If they see that it's a high priority of yours to ensure the work environment runs smoother, they'll do the same for each other. Friction is the enemy of progress. When your team doesn't have to fight against unnecessary obstacles, they're free to focus on what matters most: great work, an amazing result. So lead your team by removing these roadblocks and watch how quickly things start to move in the right direction. If this video gave you some valuable insight, give it a thumbs up and share it with a fellow leader. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical leadership strategies. Next week, we'll be diving into how to align your team's commitment with their skill set, another key element of a frictionless environment. So hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And drop a comment below with your top strategy for removing team friction. Be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.